Hello and welcome to Business Matters, the show about people behind businesses that help make Tacoma a great place to live and work. I'm your host, Mike Wark, and today my guest is David Schroedel, who's the Executive Director of the Downtown Tacoma Partnership. Welcome, David.
Thanks, Mike. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. So I know you've been with the Chamber a long time, and this organization is part of that, but it's relatively new, and it's called the Tacoma Downtown Partnership. Tell us about it.
Yeah, the Downtown Tacoma Partnership is actually the latest evolution of what was previously known as the BIA, or the Business Improvement Area downtown. For about 30 years, the BIA really focused on making sure downtown was safe and clean.
They did a good job of that.
We've done a great job of it. In 2018, we really added the welcoming aspect and changed our names to be more reflective of the work we did, both where we're at and who we're working with. And so now we're the Downtown Tacoma Partnership. And we're not just doing safe and clean, but we're doing downtown concert series, holiday shopping events, helping retailers open storefronts, and supporting them on the retail journey.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
So there's a couple pieces in there. Part of it is supporting businesses, and part of it is making downtown more attractive and visible so people will come down for those businesses. Let's talk about that first one first. You mentioned welcoming, and I know you have an amazing website.
We do. If anyone's looking for something to do downtown, you can find it on there. You can also find more about our services on there at downtown-tacoma-partnership.com. I know it's a mouthful. It's a lot of keystrokes, but it's worth it.
So there's so many interesting and unique businesses in downtown. How does this service help highlight those?
Yeah, absolutely. Our communications and marketing arm has a really active social media feed. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. We do newsletters, all of that stuff. What we really like to do is highlight the great things going on downtown, and oftentimes that's a business or an event or an activity, and it's really a good way to find things you didn't know about. The number of people who are surprised to find out that there's an axe throwing location in downtown Tacoma.
Axe throwing.
Axe throwing. You can buy scooters. I don't recommend axe throwing and scooters combined,
Right.
But these are all businesses that have opened up just during the pandemic, and so it's been great to see new businesses come online that people may not have known about before. That's one of the ways we get the word out.
So I'm thinking of coming downtown. Maybe I know I want to go out for a meal and do some other activities. How does this website or the services help with that?
Absolutely. So on the website, you can search based on what your interest areas are. We've got a great interactive map where you can go in and find, I'm looking for casual sit-down food today. What's out there? Where can I find it? And if you're already living downtown, it's an easy way to go from your house or your place of work to see what's right around you on the street. So that's one tool that we have available. In addition, if you're just trying to figure out a great place to go, we've got lots of great recommendations on there as well.
And restaurants, lots of restaurants.
We have lots of restaurants.
So many are opening. One of the things I find intriguing is how many businesses have opened during the pandemic or coming out of the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. We have been really fortunate, but it's been intentional with our work to support businesses through the pandemic. And in downtown, a lot of people don't realize we have about 160 different storefronts in downtown.
Wow.
That rivals any other area where you can go shopping in the South Sound. Of those, we've actually been able to retain a significant number of them through the pandemic, and we've had more openings since the pandemic started than we've actually had closures. We've lost some high-profile businesses, but we've also had a lot of great ones open over that time.
That really impresses me. We've had more businesses open during the pandemic than we've had close.
Yes, absolutely.
That's pretty impressive, and your work is part of that.
We really try to, and so we have a retail advocate as part of our team. And that's kind of an odd title, and like, well, what does that mean? It really means that we've got someone who is the point for supporting anyone who's in a storefront or wants to open a storefront downtown. And so if there's a business who's listening who's thinking, you know, downtown, I've thought about opening a business downtown, what would that look like for me? I'd encourage them to reach out to a retail advocate who can walk them through the entire process, from sitting down and talking with their needs and what their business model looks like, to what type of space might be good, to touring those spaces, helping them through the leasing process and even the permitting process as they start to open.
That's really interesting. So you kind of have two components to your mission. One is to highlight the businesses that are here and make them visible to the general public, to the shopping or eating public. And the other is to help support these businesses that are there, but also to get started. So if I want to start a business, I can come to you. You can show us the storefronts. You can walk me through all the steps down to permitting. And that's part of what you do.
Absolutely. And then once you're open, we try and highlight you as much as we can. I think one of the great examples for us, Method Coffee and Skate Shop, was one that opened during the pandemic at the corner, just off the corner of 9th and Court A. And it's a coffee shop and skate shop where you can buy skate equipment as well as coffee.
Okay.
And we helped them through that entire process, from figuring out what size grease trap they needed to open a coffee shop, to helping connect them with businesses in the area and potential customers now that they're open.
And how's that going for them?
It's going really well. It's really interesting. They're located across Court A from the multi-care building that's in downtown Tacoma at 9th and A there. And they've seen a huge number of multi-care administrative employees come over to get their coffee. And you mix that in with the high schoolers who are into the skate shop component of it, and it's a really cool mix of people gathering, which is one of the things I love about downtown generally.
Oh, that's really great. I'm glad to hear that it wasn't from injuries from people skating and going to multi-care.
It is not, no.
Good. And so tell me more. I'm interested to hear about some of the other great businesses that people might be interested in checking out.
Absolutely. So one of the ones that's been fun, one of our employees actually is a customer of theirs now, is a scooter shop that's open right next to University of Washington campus off of Jefferson and 21st. And they've got all the latest and hottest and cutest looking Vespas you can imagine there. And one of our employees was so entranced with it that he now rides a scooter every day to work. And so if you see someone out and about on a cute little new Vespa in downtown, it could be our retail advocate out there doing his job and going around downtown.
And this is the person that you reach out to if you want to start a business or explore, I've got this business, I want to maybe start up downtown, and that may be all you know.
Absolutely. And coming with that idea, or if you've already opened a business, that's a great way to add another location.
Okay.
One of the things I love about our downtown is roughly about I'd say probably 85% of our storefronts are locally owned. There are very few chain stores down there that have more than half a dozen locations. You've got some regional chains like Matador that's downtown that has roughly half a dozen locations, but most of them are only a couple locations. Crisp Greens is a great example. They've got a spot on 6th Avenue and one downtown. They're Tacoma grown, fresh salads down at University of Washington Tacoma area there.
So that points to the fact that Tacoma, I know how much character there is. And how many interesting shops there are, and it's fun to go downtown and explore them. But the fact that 85% of them are locally owned kind of reinforces that.
Absolutely. And we know that shopping locally keeps those dollars in the business community and keeps them in the local community.
All the more reason to check out your website. So if I know that I really like a certain part of downtown, like the 6th Avenue district, and I love going there and exploring, but I don't know about the other areas, that's all the more reason to check out the site.
We're excited that there are many places for people to go, and different places are right for different people. We love downtown Tacoma because there's such a mix and there's such a wealth of opportunity there. One of the things that's been really exciting as we kind of leave the pandemic era is starting to look at who's coming back to downtown. And so we're starting to see that mix of students, whether it's University of Washington that's now coming back, whether it's our high schools or even our middle school that's downtown that are now fully in person, and we see those people out on the street every day. We're starting to see some of the big events coming back to the Tacoma Dome. The arena shows were gone for a while. We're now starting to see the 10, 15, even 20,000 person events at the Tacoma Dome that are really seeding a lot of activity throughout downtown. Same thing with Convention Center. Our hotels are starting to fill up again. We're starting to get booked out nights at the hotels that we didn't see kind of in the early stages of the pandemic. So everyone is coming back downtown. We encourage people to be a part of it, whether it's an individual looking to shop or go out to eat, or if you're a business looking to open, there's always opportunities.
That's interesting. That's good to hear. I mean, that's really an uplifting message. And it's also interesting to see your perspective. You've got your finger on the pulse of what's happening. You've got these data points that you just shared with us about how it's working, and you're a part of it in so many ways of making it happen. And people previously probably didn't realize that there was an organization like yours doing this work.
We sit in the background a lot, and we're happy to be there. We really want to highlight the great things going on downtown. It's not necessarily about the work we do directly, but I know the work we do can really support businesses across the board. One of the more exciting things that's coming to downtown is we know that there's over 4,000 residential units slated that's either in construction or permitting, which will more than double, potentially triple the total number of people living downtown over the next 5 years. So there's energy and excitement coming to downtown, and we want everyone to have a chance to be a part of that.
And you can see it. You see these buildings going up, and so we know those people are coming, but I hadn't thought of it in that perspective. Lots of excitement about downtown Tacoma. Good time to come start your business here, move your business here, or come live.
Absolutely.
Well, David, thanks. It's been great learning about what you do in your organization for Tacoma and what you see happening in downtown Tacoma. It's a real inspiration, so thank you.
Thanks so much for having me, Mike. It's been a pleasure.